Welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I'm Stevie B. Happy to have you all with me today. Let's take some big sips to get this one started off right. So in my last video, we looked at how to come to Planet Cyrene and use the mission for coin 5 of 10 for the jellyworm pet to create a mission stack for mining missions to help us get a whole bunch of mining skills using nothing but a TT finder and a TT exhumer. And doing that allows us to have very, very, very close to 100% returns. Not quite 100%, but very close. The problem is that mining stuff that we pull up out of the ground, all that mining loot, a lot of that really doesn't have any demand or any markup. So since markup is what gets us back to break even or profit, what do we do? Well, this is part 2 that I promised you guys. So we're going to jump right into it over here with the trade terminal. But before we do, I want to mention something I mentioned in my last video. This past week in real life, I've had a situation come up. As of right now, I don't know how it's going to be resolved. And as of right now, because of that, I don't really want to make a whole bunch of information public. But right now, I could really, really use the support of the community. So I'm going to be trying to put out good quality videos for you guys every couple of days. All I'm asking in return is subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Watch the videos when they come out, like them, leave a comment. And if you would, just go to the channel, go to my playlist, go to my previous videos, and just play them as often as you possibly can. Give me all the watch time we can possibly get. And for the next 2 weeks, that would be the best way you guys can help support me. If this doesn't get resolved in the next couple of weeks, we might have to go a step further, and there might be a situation where I have to put all the details out there for everybody and let you guys decide, is this a cause that you find moral and just and worth helping back me in? But I really hope it doesn't get to that. So for now, if you could just like, subscribe, and watch all the videos on the channel as much as possible, that would be the best support you guys can give me. So let's get started. So what do we do? So first of all, we want to go to the trade terminal. We want to go to the recycle tab. And this is the tab where we turn our loot into nanocubes. Now, I've already tried to record this video once today, and unfortunately I had a phone call I had to take, so I've already turned my mining loot into nanocubes. But specifically, the mining loot you're definitely going to want to convert into nanocubes is going to be your Zorn Star Ore, your Olerin Ore, the stuff that we're looking for mission 5 of the jellyworm mission here, your blue crystals and your yellow crystals. Those are going to be the big 4 because that's what you're going to get the most of as you're running that path, doing that mission stack I showed you in the last video. So first thing you want to do is convert those to nanocubes. I've already done that, and I've got about 3,500 ped worth of nanocubes currently on me. So then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come over to the construction terminal, and this is where we're going to end up eventually getting to break even or better, and I'm going to show you how. Now, the great news is the only blueprint that you need for this is an explosive projectiles blueprint 1. And you can get these with a 100 quality rating on auction on Cali for about 150 ped, maybe even a little bit cheaper. So about a $12 to $15 investment, you can get this blueprint automatically out the gate with a quality rating 100. And since I have max skills and it's quality rating 100, I have a 95% success rate. What that really means is if I do all 172,767 attempts, at the end of that process, I'm going to get back 95% of what I put in. So if I put in 3,500 ped worth of nanocubes, I'm going to get back at the end of that run 95%, 3,325 ped in explosive projectiles, metal residue, and nanocubes. Metal residue and nanocubes coming from those near success moments. So normally what I would do, I said you could do this in your sleep. I wasn't joking. I would just go to manual. I would set it to the maximum number of attempts. I would hit construct. And then I would just walk away and go to bed for the night. And I would allow the system to AFK craft for me while I'm asleep. That's literally all I would have it doing. And this is a big reason over the past 6 months or so, a lot of you might have noticed, it seems that I'm logged in 24 hours a day. Well, I'm not actively sitting there playing 24 hours a day. There's a lot of those hours that it's literally just me here on Cyrene converting nanocubes into explosive projectiles via an EP1 blueprint. Now, EP1 blueprint is also very important. I've had people that tried this with EP2 or EP3, and yes, you can convert the nanocubes to explosive projectiles faster, but it doesn't necessarily help you out any, and we'll get to why here in a minute. So why do we start by converting to explosive projectiles? Well, let's go back to our inventory for a moment. Our hunting loot is, our mining loot is going to be under our resources tab. And unfortunately, anything under the Resources tab is lootable in PvP lootable planetside or PvP lootable space. Nanocubes and metal residue are going to be under our Materials tab. And again, most everything under your Materials tab is going to be lootable in PvP lootable if it's space or planetside. But what's interesting is by making explosive projectiles, they actually show up here underneath our Weapons tab, and they're considered a type of ammunition. That means that anything in this Weapons tab cannot be looted in PvP lootable. Doesn't matter if it's space, doesn't matter if it's planetside. If it's in the Weapons tab, it is secure always. And explosive projectiles will always be under the Weapons tab. That means that once we convert our mining resources to nanocubes and our nanocubes into explosive projectiles through crafting, we can now safely transport them anywhere in game without risk of loss. That's benefit number one. Benefit number two is if we look at the markup chart here for explosive projectiles, on the right we can see cells, and we can see there's huge demand. Just today, there's been 75,000 PED worth of explosive projectiles that have sold on auction. Just this week, there's been 729,000 PED worth of explosive projectiles sold on auction. And just this month, there's been 2.6 million PED of explosive projectiles have sold on auction. So clearly, explosive projectiles have very, very strong demand. And if we look at the markup, we can see that we're looking at 104.25 for the day, 104.5 for the week, and 103.9 for the month. What that means is, yes, we're going to lose 5% by turning our nanocubes / mining loot into explosive projectiles, but we can then safely take them to Cali, put them on auction, and we can recoup anywhere from about 4 up to possibly 4.5% of that as markup by selling to other players. That means that we're really, through this conversion process of crafting into explosive projectiles, we're only going to be losing about 0.5% to 1%, give or take. That's pretty good so far. Now remember, we're still going to be down a little bit because whenever we were actually doing the mining, we probably didn't get 100% TT return. We probably lost about 5% doing the mining with the TT gear. So that puts us down a total of about 6%, give or take. But here's where the magic happens. We are not just after the explosive projectiles. As we craft, yes, our near successes will give us metal residue. We'll be able to sell that on auction for a very small, very, very, very small amount of markup. The problem is the metal residue is going to be lootable because it's in your materials tab, so you're not going to want to take that back with you unless you're doing a secure warp of some sort. And the nanocubes that we get from our near successes, we're just going to use those to convert into more explosive projectiles anyway. But that's not all that we get. We also get blueprints whenever we craft. Now, these unlimited blueprints down here, you're going to get a ton of those. And once you have a single copy of each, there's really no reason to keep the duplicates. So these, I literally just use the sell tab on the trade terminal. And I literally just sell, not recycle, sell. I sell my extra unlimited blueprints back to the trade terminal. And that just puts a couple of PEC back on my PED card. A lot of those blueprints that you're going to get that are unlimited, you can actually get from the technician for a PEC a piece anytime you want anyway. But look at this. In addition to unlimited blueprints, every now and then the system's going to give you a limited blueprint as you're crafting. So just in the past couple hours, I've got 766 attempts of welding wire blueprint limited for a total value of 7.66 PED. Now, if we look at the market value of this, we can see that no, none of these blueprints have sold today, but this week there's been almost 30 PED worth of welding wire blueprints sell for 110% markup. This month there's been almost 300 PED worth of welding wire blueprints that have sold for about 115% markup. And this year there's been over 15,000 PED of welding wire blueprints that have sold for 154% markup. So there will be opportunities, even if it's not every day, to sell your welding wire blueprints for pretty decent markup if you time it right and you do it during certain events like, I don't know, Resource Mayhem, for instance. A lot of these other blueprints you will get, there's probably, I'm going to guess, 15 to 20 limited prints that drop from EP1 here on Cyrene. And a lot of them, I just stick them all in my storage. I just throw them all in there, even if they're limited. I just stack them up. Some of them have markup, some do not. So like this one, Ferguson's amalgam blueprint, not really any demand, not really any markup to speak of. But, you know, I just throw them in there anyway. I can always recycle them into nanocubes or sell them back to the trade terminal later. But there are some important blueprints we want to look at, because this is what's going to get us into profit area. So I'm going to go to my storage. And these are my blueprints. So these are the blueprints I've been stacking while doing this conversion of my mining loot into nanocubes and the explosive projectiles. And this one right here, this is the important one. Robotic Enhancing Gel Blueprint. So let's view information. Notice that over the past 6 months or so, I've been able to get about 2,165 attempts at Robotic Enhancing Gel Blueprint Limited. That means TT value is 21.65 PED. So if we look here, we can see that the only thing you need to craft Robotic Enhancing Gel is 15 robot component residue. Just like animals that we hunt give us animal oil residue, robots that we hunt give us robot component residue. It's practically TT food. You can usually get it for next to nothing. So if you actually wanted to craft Robotics Enhancing Gel, you could. Or you could just sell the blueprint. Now look at this chart. This chart is incorrect. I know that because I literally had this chart pulled up not even an hour ago. So something's wrong with the charts. And apparently this is happening to more and more stuff in game as the day goes on, because this is about the third time this has happened today on a different item. So what I can tell you is for the week, there's been about 30 PED of this blueprint that sold on auction for a markup of about 950%. That's 9.5 times face value, which means if I've got 21 PED worth of this blueprint sitting in storage, I could sell it right now on auction for about 180 PED, and I would make 160 PED worth of markup. Over the past year, there's been quite a bit more sell, and the markup for the year is actually closer to 1,500% or 15 times face value. So a very, very, very valuable blueprint to be able to get your hands on. The problem is, as you're crafting explosive projectiles 1, you're only going to get between 20 to 50 clicks of this blueprint for every 12 to 24 hours that you're crafting EP1 here on Cyrene. It drops, and it drops regularly. It just does not drop in high amounts or very often. So over a 24-hour run of doing nothing but explosive projectiles 1 here on Cyrene, I would expect to get about 50 clicks of this blueprint. I've got 2,100 clicks, so do the math. That means I've put in about 40-ish days worth of crafting EP1 here on Cyrene to get that big of a stack. Now, in addition, and again, I apologize because this markup chart was messed up the last time I looked at it, but I will actually show you guys Robotic Enhancing Gel, because I actually have some. Here it is right here. And let's see if the markup chart on this works. Nope, this one isn't working either at the moment. But it does have very good markup and pretty decent demand. So what ends up happening is one of two things. Some people will just try and buy the blueprints off auction and then craft it themselves. Other people will get the blueprints, craft it, then try and sell the Robotic Enhancing Gel on auction. And some people will just buy it up. Now the question is, how does this kind of tie into everything else that we're doing in game, and why is this even important? Why is Robotic Enhancing Gel even kind of a thing? I'm pretty sure I would have to double check CyreneDream.org. I'd have to go through all the recipes. I think Robotics Enhancing Gel is used in a couple of armor upgrades, maybe some armor plate upgrades, stuff like that. But the real reason it became popular is when they released the Jellyworm pet missions. Let me pull up my mission chain for you. Remember, there's 10 different missions for 10 coins. You put them together, you get a jelly pet. Well, let's look at part 4. Can I see the details of part 4? No, apparently I cannot. Weird. So, long story short, part 4 of the Leviathan mission chain, which gets you coin number 4 for the Jellyworm pet, you have to do some other previous missions, you have to turn some stuff in, but if you do all that, you get a special texture blueprint. That is the starting point, because you have to try and craft that texture blueprint 10,000 times in order to get coin 4 and complete the mission. But guess what you need in order to try each of those crafting attempts. I believe there's 3 ingredients, but one of the 3 is robotics enhancing gel. And guess what another one of the ingredients is? Olerin Stone, which is what we're looking for in coin 5 of 10 mission. So we can essentially take some of our Olerin Stone, we can take all of these robotic enhancing gel blueprints that we're looting, we can convert the robotic enhancing gel blueprints into robotic enhancing gel the item, and then if we do everything that we have to do, complete the missions, hand in the badges, and get the blueprint to then try and complete the 10,000 crafting attempts to get coin number 4, we can have essentially just gotten our own robotic enhancing gel because we converted our mining loot from coin 5 into explosive projectiles, looted the blueprint, then made our own robotics enhancing gel. So this can not only help us make profit if we decide to sell these limited blueprints and sell the explosive projectiles, but we can also use some of those blueprints to make our own robotic enhancing gel if we're going to also try and complete part 4 for coin 4 of the Jellyworm Pet Chain. So this is literally what I've been doing on and off over the past, I would say, 6 months or so, is I will start off, and again, I've been doing a lot of hunting and some other stuff in games, some events, but I start off by doing the exact path that I showed you guys in the last video, where I do all the mining for coin number 5, where I have all those other mining missions stacked to be getting those skill rewards and letting those missions rank up for me. Then when I'm done, I just come back into my local hub, I go to my trade terminal, I put my Zorn Star, I put my Olerin ore, my blue crystals and my yellow crystals in the recycle tap, I make nanocubes, and then I just turn on the crafting machine, I start crafting EP1, and I just go to bed. And then the next morning when I get back, I've got explosive projectiles, I've got some of the robotic enhancing gel blueprints, and personally, I haven't sold any. I've been stacking them up because in very short order, I'm going to be getting that blueprint I need for coin number 4, and I'm going to have to do 10,000 attempts, which means I'm going to need my robotic enhancing gel. So I've essentially been helping myself get close to break even or even profit territory between selling explosive projectiles, selling blueprints, doing all of that stuff. And I'm not only getting close to break even or profit on the crafting side of it, it's helping me get close to break even in profit from the little bit of mining losses that I did have from using the TT gear. So one of the best mission stacks / chains of events that you can do in game, and the best part is you can literally fly to Cali when you're done, throw all your explosive projectiles on auction. They'll usually sell in pretty short order as long as you price them right, and by the time you fly back, your ped card's usually ready to go, and you can start doing the entire process again, going out for more mining runs, converting that into more nanocubes, converting that into more explosive projectiles. It's a very, very nice cycle. So all of you out there that are OCD and a little bit ADHD like I am, it's a very nice, clear path and cycle to make the entire thing work. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's one of the best, I want to say, cycles in game that I have found so far. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Sip, sip, smack, smack. You guys know the rest. Like I said, guys, I've kind of got a situation on my hands in real life. I don't know how it's going to go yet. Hopefully it gets resolved in the next couple of weeks pretty easily. For now, if you would, just subscribe to the channel, like the videos when they come out, leave comments on the videos, and watch all the other videos on my channel as often as you can. And right now, that will be the biggest support you guys can possibly give me. I'll leave it there for today, but let me know down in the comments below, are there any other cool cycles like this where you can kind of stack missions and then cross that over into like crafting or hunting, and then cross that back over and take stuff to a different planet and then cycle it all back and do it again? Like, are there any cycles like that that are fairly standard, fairly repeatable you guys have noticed? If so, what is it? What planet is it on? Let me know everything in the comments, and tell me some of the things that you like or don't like about this kind of a cyclical system. Till next time, sip, sip, smack, smack. Take care, Stevies.